Hi, crafters, and welcome to Finish It Friday, episode 190. So here's where we left off on Wednesday. We have our base card. This one is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have our 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 square, our 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 square, our 1 by 1, and then this panel, which is 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. We're also going to be looking at, I'm not sure, let's see, this is the stamp set that this gorgeous paper is part of that suite. So we'll see if the way I'm going to line it out, if we'll have enough room to use one of these greetings on it. So I am not going to do a lot with the actual pieces. I'm going to leave them as is, so they are a scenery card. Sorry, I'm being very loud. And I'm opening up my 12 by 12 masks. Let me see if I can get that in there. So these are the water and dotted lines masks. They're a 12 by 12 size. They're humongous. So I think what I want to do, I don't want to do the dots. I have very linear lines in that sunset, that where the sky meets the water. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a place where I feel like it's a little tighter of a weave. All right, I'm going to do it here. So what I'm going to do, oh, I can't take that down. Let's see, I do have some blue tape here. So I'm going to kind of put this down just to hold it in place a little. All right, and I'm going to take my gorgeous grape spot and one of my small blending brushes. We're just going to, I'm going to hold it on this side while I do this side. I'm going to take some of that color off first. I'm just very lightly, I just want to get very little color on that. Go both ways so you catch all those edges. Now let me go over here. I think I'm going to have to re-ink it. Get back into where those grooves were. I might get some purple on my hands here, but I'll be okay with that. And then again, we're just doing lightly here. I'm not really pressing down too very hard. I'm going clockwise and counterclockwise because you want to catch all the edges. All right, so there's our background piece. Now we are going to take this large one, and I'm going to use glue again, and we're going to be going like this, just like we talked about on Wednesday. We're going to get that nice thin border on those two sides. I'm going to get my skyline so it's mostly even. I'm going to bring this all the way over. I'm going to put this here. Now I could do that if I want to, but I think I want to just keep it going with that sky the way it is. And then I'm going to grab out my Stampin' Positioner. We're going to stamp over that so we can get it really dark. All right, so let's start with this first. Let's start squeezing in the middle, but getting a little bit into those corners so those corners will stick nice. We're going a little bit light in the corners though. We want them to stick down, but we don't want them to ooze out. I am going to leave it over here for just a second, just to get a little bit set up. Again, in that corner. Setting it over here. Let's get a little square. This one has less surface space that's getting stuck down. I still want to get into those corners, but maybe doesn't need as much glue. want to get just a little bit in there. I have glue on my fingers, so it's going to stay stuck on me. Again, making sure I get into those corners and get a lot of that surface area. All right, so we have all the glue down. Put that back over there. Sorry, my hands are really sticky now. Let me grab out my tweezers. I'm gonna start first with the biggest piece here. We're going to make it look even at the top and at the side. And then we'll press down. Let's go ahead here. Again, we're going to do just getting that horizon line kind of even. Let's move this just a little bit up. This I think I can do with my fingers. So I want to get even with that edge. And then we have our last little piece here. All right. Now let's get out our Stampin' Positioner. I'm going to use it down here. I'm going to put all the magnets down here, but I do have it. Let me line it up in case it moves. On that bottom ledge, I've created this out of cardstock and laminated cardstock and a couple layers of cardstock underneath it just to bring it up. So I have a little bit of a lip there. So I'm putting these down. I am at the 2-inch mark and I'm right against the bottom. And I think I want to take, I think I'm going to make this an anniversary card. Let's see how it fits in there though. Because if it's too long, then we'll go down. I think it's going to be just perfect. Looks pretty well lined up. So let's go ahead, bring this down, lightly touch so we get that stamp. We're going to be using, oh, did I must have moved my, I have a spot, that's the Secret C, which is my new favorite black to use. It's not black, but it looks black when it's stamped. So let's go ahead, we're just going to do these very lightly. Since these are such a thin font, we don't want to really go press hard because you might have it splay out. Oh, I just put my finger in it. We'll do one more and then we're going to call it done. So there, we got that really dark, but as you can see, every time I push down, you lost some of the fineness of that. But I think it looks good. I have to wash this, so let me put this over here for now. All right, and I don't really know if we need any embellishments. I'm trying to think what we have available. You know what? Let's do some baby rhinestones. The OG of our embellishments. So let's put a bigger one in the center there, and let's put 2 smaller ones right in the middle there. I'm thinking that's enough. Don't want to go too crazy with the decorations because that DSP, that designer series paper, makes all the difference. So there you have it. Let me put my hand up there. I don't know if you can see how well that's stamped with the multi-layers. All right, let me show you the other cards I did. Now here, you have to forgive me, and you know what? I'm seeing that right now. Let me get that out of the way here a little bit. All right, so this, I haven't mounted on a base card yet because I did this on watercolor paper. And I forgot to edge these before I put them down with dimensionals. And so then I didn't want to rip it up because since this is watercolor paper, it would just peel, it would rip it off. So I tried edging it with my spot, and it didn't really work well. But here we go. There's that paper. I used a little scrap here. Used the letters from that mini alphabet die. Oops, and just really made a joyful color combination. And here, this one I did as a book binding. I need to re-tape it down. Let me do that. I think I was going to do that and I forgot. So let's just go ahead and do that now. All right. Put that there. So now we have that book binding card. Here's your strip here. Here's your little square. Again, you could use little rhinestones or embellishments if you wanted to, but I think there's so much going on here that I'm fine with just the way it is. Maybe I would find a small flower stamp and maybe stamp a small flower on there. But there you are, guys. There's our Finish It Friday episode 190. If you don't mind, give me that thumbs up. Don't forget, if you place a order before the mid-July, you will get a mailing of it'll be 6 base panels. So it's not going to be the folded card. It'll be just a base panel, 6 layers, and 6 DSP layers. So that's just for placing an order. And then you'll have the DSP and cardstock we'll be using in our episode 200 that is due to be the first week of August if I don't have any off days in between now and then. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me that thumbs up. Appreciate you all for watching. Have a great week. Bye for now.